Alright, hey guys, what's up? We are live with the Make Korea Great Again tournament. My webcam's a little bit high. Let me just turn that down a little bit. But how you doing, Zombie Grub?
I'm okay.
That's good to hear. You want to say a couple more words? I'm mostly asking so I can balance the audio, to be honest.
That's what I figured, because this is the third mic in 2 days.
Yeah. You're like at a different spot like every time, and I guess it messes with it, or I don't know. But I think that should be okay. If Zombie Grub is too quiet or too loud, you guys let me know. She sounds good on my end, so I'm going to hope for the best. But speaking of hoping for the best, we don't have to with the signups. Oh my god! Like, the signups today are just... I'm blown away. I'm literally blown away. Oh yeah, I meant to green screen a Korean flag. I forgot to do that. I'll fiddle with that later. But even though we didn't have everybody check in that we had hoped to have check in, we still have some pretty fantastic players on what looks to be almost the final bracket. Cloudy, coming from China, by the way, is going to be kind of interesting to see how he does. You got Patience, you got Major, you got Beyond, you got Gumiho, you got Dream, you got Alive. Enough Terrans? No, because we still have like Innovation and Ryong and Keen to shout out. So there's going to be some TVTs today. That being said, with signups like Classic and a couple others, hopefully we'll get some good, I guess, not TVT matchups.
Hopefully.
There's two major goals with this tournament, guys. The first being we really wanted people to sign up for it. And they did. Maybe not everybody checked in, but it's not bad for the first event. Because in the past we've thrown things for Koreans, and really they haven't shown. And we know a lot of that was possibly because of the Kespa influence. Some of it maybe the times we were picking were no good. But the time for this is about as bad as it can be for me, so it must be good for Korea. In fact, what time is it over there right now, Zombie Grub?
It is 8 o'clock.
In the morning?
No, at night.
At night, okay. I don't actually know. My brain doesn't work on this properly. I currently don't even know what time it is half the time here because it's sleep, cast, sleep sort of deal. But we do have Golden casting in Korean if you guys want to hear any of that. He was covering some of the IEM qualifiers. But man, all the Terrans. I'm wondering if the other races just didn't check in because of all the Terrans. They saw Beyond in Innovation and got spooked, you know?
I don't know if that is it.
Well, either way, this will be handled a little bit similar to what you guys have seen in the Alima League, where each round is going to have a preset map leading into loser's pick in a best of 3, except for the grand finals, which will be a best of 5. There's quite a bit of prize money on the line for this. Ideally, keep in mind that at the start of each of these tournaments, there's only $100 guaranteed through BaseTradeTV. After that, we rely on the help of you guys, the viewers. Some of you may be feeling generous enough to donate your own cash, and we have a couple of people who have thrown in $5 and $3. Thank you to Uvraftenerd. I'm never going to say that name properly. And Vilas Korea. But for the rest of you, you don't have to actually spend any of your own money. You can use the code MKGA1 to create $1 and add it to the prize pool, free of charge. Is Match Arena a new sponsor? No, but they are sponsoring today, so we're trying to give them a little bit of extra love, making those logos a bit big. But I'll leave you to tweak the bracket with Olivia while I talk to Golden about some stuff here. Because he's a little bit confused on the Matcherino, but I think he gets it now. I guess we've told this story before in stream, but a lot of you guys might not know. Again, for Koreans, crowdfunding is a bit of an odd thing. It's just not part of, like, their culture isn't something that is too conducive to crowdfunding anyways. So it's a little bit awkward in that regard. Impact did manage to show up for this, though, which is great to see. Actually,
yeah, that's cool.
This is going to be a really interesting ride there in the middle part of the bracket. I don't know if it's finalized yet, but Impact versus possibly Bunny or Keen in round 3. Ryung versus Billowy round 2, assuming Billowy beats chankim. Although chankim has been giving the Koreans a bit of trouble recently.
Yeah, CVT looks pretty good.
Tails versus Major down below. Winner plays Beyond. Winner of that plays Patience or Cloudy. Again, we actually have some really great potential matchups here.
Which one are we gonna grab first?
Well, I'm gonna wait for the bracket to be finalized, and then we'll poke and choose.
Is basically finalized. So.
Well, my thoughts are either Billowy versus chankim, because the winner plays Ryung, and that'll be great. Other side of the bracket, you do have Tails versus Major, and the winner plays Byeon, and that's another smooth bracket to ride. So I'll let you flip the coin and pick which of those you want to see. I am perfectly happy with either.
Billowy chankim. So interesting.
Let's do it up then. I do hope to see Classic, Impact, basically the non-Terrans go far. I wanna cast them today, is what it comes down to.
Okay, Whirlwind is the first map.
Okay. Also, side note to all the other things we were discussing, I do want, like, the sign-ups and all this, as we do these 4 tournaments this month, I want them to go well. I want to be able to keep doing this tournament into the New Year's, but we also need the viewership to support it. So I'm really hoping that we can hit at least 2,000 viewers for the first one, and then ideally have 2,000 be consistent for the following ones. There was a question asked on Team Liquid, and I think it begs a certain degree of clarity, where someone was asking, will this be replacing the Alima League? And the answer to that is no. We purposely picked a day the Alima League isn't running on so that we wouldn't have to worry about conflicting with it if this became a permanent thing going forward. So, the Alima League is currently on Tuesdays and has been. That may change in the new year. I don't know. But, as it currently stands, we are not trying to replace the Alima League. We're just trying to add another tournament alongside it.
So Scarlett was supposed to play today.
Oh yeah, she tweeted about it.
Yeah.
Maybe
amazing.
Maybe it's because I showed her the betrayal, and she just couldn't handle it.
Such a betrayal. I could have done so many worse things.
yeah. With somebody like Scarlett, you really could ruin things significantly, depending on what you type. But okay, we are on the lobby for Whirlwind. Chankim, a Zerg player. And Billowy. Oh, he's a barcode. Son of a...
Yeah. His clan tag, I think, might be his actual name. That doesn't help.
Yeah, when it's in Hangul. Yeah.
Even if it wasn't, no one besides Koreans pay attention to people's real names, okay? So.
Well, we're ready to go whenever they are. Walkovers will begin in 15 minutes, and I hope nobody gets walked over.
Okay. Ready to go. Oh, where's my game sound? Oh, it's muted. Ha ha ha. There we go.
Oh, mine was too. There's the beeping. Here we go.
What a quinky dink.
Well, that was a terrible. I think I muted halfway through the cough. That was bad. It's just bad. Anyways, the prize pool as it currently stands is already up to $139. So about 35 codes or so have been used. Thank you guys so much. We have a total of 200 we want to try and make sure all used up before the end of the cast today. So we will be bringing this up later on as we get further into it. But to kick off the day, I will, I guess I'll edit the overlay. Oh, I hate doing this. All right, well, in the top left, before I do that, is going to be the blue Zerg player. It's chankim.
In the bottom left is the teal Protoss. He is Billowy.
Alright, get your title teas ready, guys. I guess I'll have... It's better to get this up, too, because we'll probably have some other barcodes we may have to deal with later. But, anyways, Billowy has been, as we've been talking about more recently, having, questionable performances. Not that he's bad, it's just inconsistently good, was, I think, the best way we came to phrase about that. I don't know how he'll do versus chankim, because chankim has been a bit of a wild card. If Billowy comes into this thinking, this is some foreign Zerg I've never heard of before, who cares? He's going to be in for a surprise, because chankim has actually been killing some people in the Alima League. Plus, not to mention new patch glory that is Hydralisks.
One second.
Also,
okay, there we go.
He did manage to force chankim off of the natural... Oh, chankim also messed up the placement of the hatchery. That's a bit awkward. 75 minerals in the hole.
So, yeah, now that everything's Gucci, the story of chankim basically is I don't know what it was. I guess maybe there's just some guesswork, or maybe it really is two different people. I don't know, but that chankim has some pretty good English. So maybe the thought was that he was kind of like Masa, I guess, Korean, but lives in Canada or America or whatever. But he corrected me, and he's actually he lives in Korea, and he just has good English for X or Y reason. But we kind of wrote him off as an NA player first, which
because his team association, I think it was XL5 or something, right?
I guess that was it too. But then we also were just well, what does he be doing in the Alima Leagues? And it's honestly not getting far. But the one time we chose to cast him, he actually went above and beyond in the versus Terran matchup specifically. So maybe he was just like super working on that because it's all of the Alima League. That's what we cast him, or it is just coincidental that he is good against the race that is most common in our tournaments. But the versus Protoss matchup has certainly been changed here, and chankim might just be good against Protoss here too.
Just as a side note, by the way, I'm a little bit sad that the Alima League is in fact on a hiatus at the moment, because I just feel like that would be another great opportunity right now with everybody signing up for everything. I mean, I still can't believe our European tournament, by the way, I guess technically got better signups of Koreans than this one, what with Stats and Zest and others showing up for the Woodwatch tournament. But I'm not too disappointed with this. I gotta imagine the Alima League would have pretty fantastic signups too, so hopefully that comes back sooner than later. I do like referencing it though, because truthfully, like the Alima League being weekly for the last like 2 years, 3 years almost, whatever it's been, is giving us a lot of insight to, okay, yeah, the good watching beyond all that, but also the players like chankim who are lesser known, and players like Billowy who are not the A-list players.
No. They aren't, but they are certainly starting to make a name. Billowy just needs to get consistent.
Yeah, like we've seen Billowy clutch out some weird victories and some solid victories. It's just like, again, not, you can't, I would never bet on this guy, is what I'm saying.
Yeah. Well, the Dark Shrine is on the way. What else is new for Protoss? Fortunately,
what else is
much...
new, Zombie Grub, is that they have a blink now. Don't you know?
No one cares. No, it doesn't even exist. Might as well just take that of the...
It's like, David Kim put a bait in the game. He's like, let's see how many people we can trick into wasting 200 minerals and 200 gas. And like, track those stats over time.
Sounds about right. I mean, it's not the worst upgrade to have, apparently. Like, late game, you can blink in, blink out, but you can't really fit in the mid game.
We didn't actually bring it up because the games were over so quickly, but when we were watching Zest earlier today, the way he was handling his DTs and doing the micro with them and the Warp Prism, I couldn't help but think, like, if Blink was another layer on top of that, that would have been just the most fantastic thing to watch.
Why would you need Blink when you have a Warp Prism?
That's what I'm saying. It's like what you see people like Mana and others do crazy Warp Prism micro with Blink Stalkers. Like, okay, Blink goes off, then he picks it up and drops it again. Like, you can just get some really cool, I guess, control scenarios. But so we'll put a pin in that because we may not see Blink at all, guys. We've seen it one time. Of course, all the games we've been casting, we saw it research one time, and it was never used, even though it was made.
Yep.
Credits to Showtime.
Useful.
All right, so chankim is going to be dropping some lings in the main, but looks like Billowy has a bit of a suspicion about this. The Stalker's currently patrolling. We do have DTs being warped in as well, so we're going to see a bit of shenanigans over here. I'm just watching Zest do this earlier today has me convinced that this actually is so much cooler to do than the Archon drop, especially when controlled precisely. But coming in a little bit late with that response, I think he was trying to bait people away from the third, Ling's defense, etc., but Warp Prism does take some pretty hefty damage.
Yeah. That's pretty good, though. I mean, you don't get the DTs on top of that Queen, that annoying little trick maneuver, and it also just, it's really going to cause Billowy to rethink how he attacks with his Warp Prism already being so low, and 20 less health the way. Another cool little thing for Protoss to deal with. That these Lings get a stalker and get out of there. It's perfect.
Cheese it, it's the fuzz!
That Overlord not really worrisome too much. The Stalkers, people take on this many Lings together.
Yeah, especially as there are adepts out, but he's just kind of mucking about. And chankim, you know, we're talking about the respect of watching Protoss players do Warp Prism micro. Forget that. Chankim's doing some Overlord Ling micro, and I like it. Meanwhile, Billowy did make those DTs into Archons, so a bit more of a classic harass heading around the other side of the map.
Well, chankim going for the Hydralisk and Banelings in that composition that is so scary.
Gets another Stalker, by the way. That's pretty sussy. Gets some Lings into the mineral line, but the adepts will defend this. The Archons are chasing some Overlords, so this could be a bit of free hits from these Lings. I don't think he's too worried about losing them, though. Gonna pick up micro out of the Warp Prism, should be fine. Picked off the Observer, that was kind of cute.
Not bad.
He's got speed on the Overlords, there's no reason to lose these.
Well, you know, Billowy, he's kind of trying really hard to kill him, so.
He is. All the Lings have been dealt with on the other side of the map, so there is no more counter potential.
Yeah, I think that was just a case of him just... He was so fancy with his Lings, but it really was something like, okay, how much damage do these guys really do? You're probably better off making sure you don't take damage from the Archons, for instance, which he still did anyway. Hydras are on the way out, and that Warp Prism's going to be very careful, especially when the Hydras are fully upgraded with the speed on creep as well as their extra range.
Yeah, +2 range coming out right now. Look at the Hydra 7 range, which is so crazy. Melee upgrades being the emphasis here, though, tells me that the Hydras will have an interesting role to play. I don't think it's just going to go mass Hydras like we've been seeing some people do. So with the continued investment in Lings, there's that Baneling speed. And of course, Baneling speed, no longer just speed, but an additional 10 health to all the Banelings.
The Baneling boost.
Actually, I'm really curious. There's 3 different big types of splash that affect Banelings, right? You got the Archon auto attack, you got Storms from Templar, and of course, Colossus. I'm wondering of those, which are most affected by the 10 health, if at all. I mean, the Storm's still going to kill. It's 40 health, right? Like, the Storm's still going to kill Banelings, but it might be like, okay, some of them get out barely alive with 1 health on the edge of the Storm. Okay,
yeah.
cool.
I mean, that's kind of what it is going to be for any interaction with Banelings. It's just like, okay, I guess a couple more are going to live, which might, you know, might have been the exact purpose of the health boost.
Ooh,
They were thinking about the sniping, but there's a huge amount of Banelings.
The force fields are questionable. I think it almost helps the Hydras in some regard, because not all of Billowy's army could get there to them, but as they continue to live through the back line, drones and Lings and Banelings are sacrificed. It's a pretty rough fight. It's getting pretty close, but I think chankim should be able to hold.
Yeah, I don't know about that Blinken. He did only see Hydras left over, and I think with better upgraded or more Blink Stalkers, he would have ended the game there. But the Hydras are still reinforcing. There's Lings reinforcing. It was seconds away from a couple of upgrades finishing, too. But did Billowy do enough of a trade to be okay with that?
I mean, 10 workers killed is pretty nice, but chankim is still sitting on 60 behind this, and 4 bases at that. Let's not forget, Billowy did fail at killing the 3rd to the north. Gets an Archon here in the middle of the map. War Prism is about to go down. If it unloads that... Oh, the Immortal's got like 5 health inside of it, too. It's not much better if it unloads.
Yeah, chankim should absolutely be attacking, too. Like, his upgrades are all finished now. This is what he was waiting for if he was going to be the one to push out. He is missing those Banelings, but since it's just Blink Stalker, I wonder, like, just keeping the Lings probably be better. They are so well upgraded as well. Okay, he's going to make a couple of Banelings. I think Lings actually would have been okay, too.
I think so as well, especially when you're considering it's Stalkers and Immortals, but he may be looking to, say, move past those and go to the mineral lines.
Yeah, or just expecting Billowy to start adding in, like, charge lots or as an Englave Adepts, which he's not at all.
Right, charge lots are a lot more of what you respond to, I think, more normally for the Hydralisks, and in that regard, I think that's probably why he's invested in the Banelings, but gonna find that he doesn't need them whatsoever. See how he uses them.
Not really. They're gonna force the Blink Stalkers to, like, you know, blink away, split, and that's where the Lings get the extra damage on all the surrounds and all the Stalkers, but I think really you're just hoping to get a good amount of splash and maybe hit the heart of the sentries if there's no juicy zealots to clean up. chankim's not really finding a weakness here. Billowy doing a very good job despite losing a majority of his army early on. Just, you know, keeping it calm, 3 bases, warping when he can. And chankim does need to start thinking about the later stages of the game, so he's going to be going to Lurkers.
I'm not convinced Lurkers are that amazing anymore with Hydras having all that extra range. I think having like an extra layer of Hydras might truly be better. I don't know. Lurkers have been proven to wreck Protoss, though, when they're not paying attention. Banelings, speaking of which, you're going to look to see if Billowy's paying attention, and it doesn't look like he is, so holy guacamole, 22 probes, 23 probes just died.
Oh, and Billowy is moving out. This kind of has turned... I guess it's not on all Lings. He already threw down the 4th Nexus, but he's going to be sending a lot of minerals replacing those probes.
I like that he moves forward.
Oh,
yeah, he tried to get it forward before this force field would land. Guardian Shield's reducing a lot of the damage from the Hydras, though. He's got to kill that sentry. Drones got pulled once again, but still, a lot of damage was down on Billowy's side of the field. He's going to have to do a lot of damage to make up for that. Doesn't look like it's going to be an option.
No. Killing 18 drones, having taken like 23 or something like that probe damage. I guess that is kind of a equalizer, but it's always a question of like, well, who has the better army at this point in time, right? It's not like chankim was building his Colossus count while he did that attack, and now it's like 3 Colossus, and just needs to warp in like fodder. Like, he still has an army that is probably inferior to Ling Hydra, unless the force fields are good.
There's 2 issues on this going forward. One is there's not really a lot of Spore Crawlers for chankim at his outlying bases, so these DTs may get some kills. Alternatively, though, Billowy only has 1 single observer, and he's not making anymore, so those Lurkers might just be king if that 1 observer gets sniped. Oh, but he just shut down the Cyber Core.
Oh, that is correct. Yes, he did.
So no Stalkers, no Adepts, no Sentries. You can only warp in unupgraded Zealots, which is not what you want at this stage of the game.
DTs are trying to make their way to that 4th base. Maybe they can pull chankim back.
Even if they were to kill this base, though, it's still... Like, I hope chankim realizes there's going to be a big lull in production. Now's the time to go.
Rover's here. Oh, these ZT's gonna add a lot of damage.
Oh yeah, there's no overseer, so these ZTs are gonna wreck. That being said, the Hydra still do a fair amount of damage themselves. Not gonna be able to get away with Burrow. There's an observer here, but it's like the only observer. Oh, Forcel's gonna catch these Hydras.
He's building one overseer now. I mean, the Hydras at least took out the Gateway army, the Stalker army, that is. But
wow.
DT is going to town on that 4th base, and I think chankim has just taken too many losses on 2 different fronts.
Yeah, Billowy really found an opening to the side here. Killing the drones here was really nice, but getting the hatchery kill was just the ultimate damage you can do there. Other side of the map, looks like he might try and catch some of these probes transferring over. Both players are in pretty delicate economies, to be honest. Like, while Billowy may have 51 probes, he doesn't have full saturation on bases to mine with.
Yeah, and this is a pretty good Ling run by. These Lings are really well upgraded. They're actually going to have 2 too soon.
They might be able to kill the Nexus. If he wants to dedicate, I think he might just get it.
He is going to get it now. Oh, he's not going to dedicate.
Oh.
I guess it still would have been questionable with the Blink Stalkers if it was blinked on top of him, but
Ooh.
would have been really close.
Nice catch on this Immortal, middle of the map. There might be some overcharges and DTs, but this time around there is an Overseer, so those Lurkers are going to go to town on anything they can see this time around.
The Lings came back.
Yeah, the DTs try to defend. Now Billowy's knocked down to essentially 1 base. The Cyber Core goes down again. Production for Billowy. He can't even afford it, but even if he could, he can't build anything.
Yeah, it might just come down to the fact that his army is just not equipped to really deal with Lurker Hydra. 1 Immortal, Stalkers, they have, I guess, +2, but even still, chankim has much better upgrades. He's going to go for the best concave he can, I suppose. That's what his army here.
What's so hard to watch is like all these Archons and the Immortals getting picked off all over the place by Lings that don't have Adrenal Glands. Lings that don't have 3-3. Like, these are units that are pretty valuable going down for nothing, really. Mothership Core is going to pop off. Looks like Billowy's going to go for the push, but I wonder if too much damage was dealt through this.
No.
That single observer is his only bastion of hope.
Their army wasn't attacking altogether initially. As the blinking comes, the Lurkers did start attacking all the Blink Stalkers, so chankim's actually the one to tap out.
What?
Billowy holds and wins.
What a back and forth topsy-turvy game. What?
Yeah, they cut each other down so much. That's always a very tight game.
I will say that game was more interesting than almost every single game we've had with Hydras versus Protoss, like, in the IEM qualifiers.
Yeah.
But it's loser's pick.
Yes, it is.
Again, thank you to Oli Moly, by the way. She's the one adminning for today, so if you guys see her in chat, give her some love. But it is loser's pick as the format. And of course, the brackets will be advanced probably pretty quickly. I'm really curious, though, how far Innovation gets in this. Because Innovation, through IEM, of course, he struggled through the first qualifier. I think it was the second one he finally got through. And then even earlier today, he didn't do so hot. But that one can really highly be attributed to the European server latency. So I'm wondering where he's sitting for this particular one. It's a lot of TVT potentially ahead of him.
Terrans in Korea? Never.
I know, we've never heard of such a crazy thing.
It's like a liquid versus liquid match.
Wait.
Possible.
That happens?
Sometimes, believe it or not.
See you next year.
Sometimes even 3 times in one tournament.
I know, I mean, on the one hand, it's actually a good thing because, you know, like, all the players are good enough to consistently get far enough to fight one another. But okay, game number 2. And of course, I do have to adjust Billowy's name on the overlay. This is why I do overlay stuff, guys. But I do it for you. And the bottom left side, he is down 1 game in the single elimination tournament. It's going to be the red Zerg player, chankim.
In the top right has the blue Protoss. He's Billowy.
All right, now I would like to comment, since we got a few more people tuning in, the prize pool for this, again, is made possible thanks to Matcherino. They're providing a crowdsourcing site where, if you're willing to and if you enjoy the players, you can throw in a couple of your own dollars for the prize pool. However, if you don't want to, you're stingy, and you say, Rifkin, that's my hard-earned cash, back away, get your own sandwich, I offer you an alternate solution. You can use the coupon code MKGA1, and it will add $1 to the prize pool. It won't cost you anything. You don't have to enter your PayPal. You don't have to edit your credit card. All you gotta do is use that coupon code on their website. You'll help these players get a lot more money for the tournaments. And I will emphasize that, as with all tournaments we do with Matcherino, maybe you're unfamiliar with us, and maybe you're unfamiliar with Matcherino, but 100% of the money on that prize pool will go to the players.
Yeah, that's so nice. When you said Kirsch, I just imagined that, like...
Oh my god, it's Kirsch.
Yeah.
Yeah,
My Kirsch.
It's 3:21 in the morning, okay? That's what I'm going to attribute to this. We've been over this. This is like the worst hour. 2 a.m., 1 a.m., I can wake up for that. 4 a.m., 5 a.m., not a problem. Something about 3 a.m. is the midnight twilight of horror that I just cannot get over.
I woke up at 6 o'clock today, like 6 p.m. And I'm just hoping that maybe eventually I'll push my sleeping so far forward it becomes a regular sleep schedule again, you know? I first woke up at 3 p.m. Now I wake up at 6 p.m. Maybe I'll wake up at 9 p.m. and then midnight and then keep on going.
It goes full circle, yeah. It's nice to see though that at least it hasn't screwed up your ability to do non-StarCraft things. I mean, hanging out with Scarlet and Rapid eating gross ass octopus legs. Ugh.
Yeah, it's an interesting way of doing things because like technically. Well, some of my nights are free, right? Like today, no, like I'm casting at 8 p.m. But even though my nights are free, I still have to consider that I'm going to be casting at 3 in the morning. Or usually, you cast at 8 in the morning.
You have a curfew.
Afternoon.
You have a casting
curfew is in the middle of the night. Yeah, exactly. It's a little weird.
Actually, I'm curious. So, speaking of your stay in Korea, just a little bit off topicness, guys, since it's a 3-hatchery, slower opening. Have you gotten to do much other than, I guess, I don't know how to phrase this. Like, have you made new friends? Have you tried other things, or has it pretty much just been sticking around with the people you know, like Scarlet and others?
Have I been using Tinder? Okay, Rifkin, I know what you're asking.
That's not where I was going, but okay, that also applies, I suppose. Have you considered trying to date somebody? I don't know. This is an all-encompassing, like, what are you doing outside of casting?
No, I mostly just hang out with people that I know, but then they're bringing along other people I don't know, so I'm making friends.
Friend making.
Oh my god.
I'm actually really jealous. I didn't really care so much for IEM Youngi that you were attending, but as I keep seeing all the people who are going, because I really expected nobody to be going. It's Korea, right? I'm like, kind of wish I had stayed till December 22.
Yeah. I think what's so cool about it is, like, I think that GSL, because it happens every so often, people don't really see it as an event to, like, mark their holiday around. Although some people do. Like, you see, like, Brita posts on occasion being like, I'm in Korea, what do I do? But, like, IEM, I guess going to Korea is, like, a much bigger once a maybe lifetime event. I don't know.
By the way, I forgot, just while we get the game finally heating up, Korean replay packs from this will be made available to our subscribers, but also the ones from earlier today as well. We kind of got really busy doing some super secret project stuff after the cast, so I didn't get a chance to. But just reminding you guys who have subbed recently, but also might sub new, you will be getting really awesome quality replay packs later today.
Replays.
We actually recently ran a straw poll for our subs. And one of the questions was like, why do you sub to BaseTradeTV? And I really thought more people would be like, oh, because of replay packs. But that wasn't like a top option. That was like, I think, number 3 on the list.
Yeah, we've had this conversation before. I think we did this poll like maybe even a year ago, and it was like, yeah, I originally was like, it's got to be a big deal, right? Like, there's like a ton of really good players in our tournaments. But then the more I thought about it, the more I realized like, not a lot of people actually like study, you know. They might download it, honestly, but not even like look at it, or they might be studying, but I'd say far fewer people are using those replays. Well, the emoticons are obviously the best reason.
Yeah, I mean, that was also not listed very highly, but okay. Did you actually see the straw poll? Did you the one we sent out?
I saw them. I didn't vote in them.
But I mean, did you see the results?
No.
Hold that thought. Banelings and Langs get a drop to the main mineral line. Billowy is not paying attention, and I love the cleanup of. He intentionally dropped another Ling before the other Baneling. I really love that precision out of chankim. However, while this was a cool attack, an even bigger attack goes down on the other side of the map. That's a hell of a lot of Adepts, and there's not really that much to stop them.
Chankim might have just flubbed the defense here. Even if he gets Banelings, yeah, okay. That's not really good.
Okay, Billowy will take the Series 2-0, advancing on in the brackets. We got a resub, got a shout out from Liquid Snoot. 25 months. Man, has Snoot really been so for 25? I'm just more astonished that I've known Snoot for over 2 years at this point. Thank you so much for the resub. Says Rip Zerg in before PVT finals. Snoot, is this your first time watching a Korean event? Because I think you meant to say in before TVT finals.
Hey.
No, I want to actually I really want to see Impact play, so maybe we'll try and cast Keen and Bunny or something next. I'm not sure, or maybe we'll follow Billowy to fight Ryung. We'll go to a small commercial break while we decide. But round 3, I really want to see Impact play and see where he's at in the game, so we might just have that one on reserve. Regardless, though, we'll see you guys in 2 minutes, and thanks for watching.